Holy crap, I have not played this game in forever, dude. So what are we in? Fiesta season? Or Ka season? Fiesta season? Some season. Fuck. I don't know. A sprint race? So like one lap. A couple more normals, a sprint, and a normal race. Let's get that menu button, see what we can body check this in here. Ooh. Oh, okay. Sure, let's get that. Can we do the next one? Not available. Okay, so weight reduction, not available. Racing brakes, sure. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, do we got enough for the springs? Oh, we're 25 credits short. Oh well. Okay, so we tuned up our car, our Fiesta anyways. Info. Rear info. Ooh, what is all this? Current car, Fiesta, season 1. What? 9% complete? Whoa, that's... That's incredible. Let's hit that save button. Yeah, let's save. Yep. We just blew all of our money. We got no money. Let's just save. Let's just go. Okay. Yeah. Let's get into a race. I haven't played this in a long ass time. It's been probably a month, maybe 2. I don't know. Let's skip qualify. Start the race. I'm genuinely not interested in the qualifying. It'd be 2 laps of like bullshit that I don't really care about. I don't remember what button is. It's our camera button. Aha, R2. Alright, so since the last time I've played, I have a different controller. I am all over the road. I do not have analog control anymore. Okay, that's fine. Push me. Shit, was this one of those games where I can't affect the AI, but they can fuck me up? Accelerate! Come on. Go fast. Think fast thoughts. Speed. LS. Nitrous. Family. Come on. They're catching me. It is time for a siesta, not a fiesta. Go to sleep. No. No, it's my checkered flag. Aha. I've got the fiesta flag. Changed controllers. And I'm playing it with a knockoff PS2 controller. I really don't want to watch a replay. I've got like a USB to PlayStation plug adapter, and then I've got like this really cheap. It doesn't the battery latch doesn't even have a sticker, and that's how cheap it is. Controller advertised for the PS2, right? and it's wireless. It runs on 2 AAAs. It sips on the batteries. It is so nice. I like this controller a lot. Wait, can we buy more stuff? Let's do that. Body shop. Hell yeah. Race parts. Let's go to the suspension. Yeah. Can we do anything else? No. The tires are disposable. A qualifying engine? Wow. Okay, let's save that, I guess. Oh, no. Yeah. I'm stupid. Enter? Yeah. Skip qualify. I'm fucking cool. I don't need no practice. Automatic, because manuals are manual. Makes me wonder if cars were detuned when they were sold as standard, and if they had more horsepower if they were manual. Or I mean, if they had more horsepower if they were automatic, because I had a 2.8 liter Chevy Celebrity that was an automatic, and a 4T60 transmission, I think. Basically, it's front-wheel drive. It can take any engine from the good old Iron Duke all the way up to the Quad 4 and 2.8, and I believe it would also fit the 350, the 305, the 3.8, and there was a version that Cadillac had that sold that, what, fucking 7-liter V8 on it. Transmission's fucking fantastic, but when I was looking at like the reference material that came with the car, because the owner sold it to me, there was like trim package option shit in the book, and the engine that I had paired with the automatic with overdrive made more horsepower than the version that came with the 5-speed manual, which was strange to me, because they were both the fuel-injected model, and let's see, what else was it? 173 cubic inch V6? Yeah, it was a small V6, by American standards, and it wasn't good for much power, but I liked it. It was old school too, so like it was not like a smooth idle engine, it was like a rough idle. Like all of the 2.8s I've ever rode in, and I rode in a lot because I grew up in the 90s. So a lot of people I knew and grew up with had those like S10s and those small GM cars that had that engine. All of them idled like oddly, I guess, kind of like an old V8. And mine, I actually put a muffler on it called a thrush welded muffler. And it's not even a muffler, it's a fucking baffle. I cut all the exhaust off of it because I took it out on back roads and just ripped it off too many times to have it welded back on, so I just cut it off and clamped on some new pipe and that thrush welded baffle. Man, it sounded so fucking good. It was cool. Went nowhere, but it made a lot of noise. But I was reading that material, I was like, man, I wonder, sitting here looking at this, you know, pick automatic or manual, I wonder if I pick the manual, if it'll actually be slower, you know, even if I perfectly shift. so we're not gonna find out. Also, I don't know what buttons. Escort. Ooh. Vroom. My sister had one of these, and she had 2 of these actually. This body style. She had one coupe, and she had a 4-door. All the notchback. None of them were. None of them were that fucking terrible escort wagon thing. And I say they're terrible, but surprisingly you see them on the road more than you see this generation of escort. So, I mean, yeah. Maybe it's because they're so fucking slow that they can't drive fast enough to fall apart. What? What is going on with my car? Shit, bro. I was like stuck in first gear. I got screwed there. Fuck. Anyways, my sister had one of these. It was her first car. And she had a 4-cylinder. I don't know if they sold them in 6. I don't really know much about 90s Fords other than pickup trucks. I mean, I grew up in 90s America, so... in rural America, so Ford pickups were fucking everywhere. However, these things, they were everywhere, but like in the town that I grew up in, they weren't popular with people that, you know, lived in my area. So my sister was the only one that I knew that ever had one of these outside of a dude named Jeff. I think he had one as well, but we really talked to Jeff. He wasn't really friend or anything, so he yeah, my sister caught this car off of my grandpa got it from a relative, and it was hot fucking pink. That shit was hilarious. And the dude had got the car initially to participate in like a local banger race. Basically, he just bought the car to turn it into scrap metal at some point, but he wanted to race it. And he ended up not doing that because he got under the car and somebody, whoever had it before him, undercoated it. Whether they painted it or tarred it, I don't know. But it wasn't rusty. So, well, at that time, it wasn't rusty. So he had done like a lot of gutting all of the sound insulation and like the spare tire and all that bullshit. So, and I think he replaced some of the glass in the back door as well. But he put it all back together, and without the sound deadening, of course, because he fucking threw it away. And the engine had some work done to it because it was, he had bought it because it had a blown head gasket. So he did the cheap fix. He bought it, he ground the head down, and then he ground the, my controller, I think my controller died. Ground the top of the engine down a little bit, and then put thick gaskets in it, right? And metal gaskets, which kind of increases compression, right? The compression ratio, but it's terrible for your mileage and it doesn't make the engine last very long because, you know, your head's closer to the block. So he did some other stuff to it. I don't remember what. I don't think he bored it, but he changed the piston rings and all that stuff. When he tore the engine apart to check it out, he did all that bullshit. And he did something to the computer, or had something done to the computer as well, so that it would pull and use more fuel. So it was constantly fouling spark plugs all the time. Oh, I think it was a pain in the ass. So radio was gone. A whole bunch of shit was just gone. So when my sister got it, she had to put a whole bunch of shit on it, right? And that thing was so fucking loud to ride around in. Like, oh my god, it was terrible. And but it was quick and it was nice, and it was one of her first cars, and it was pretty cool. You know, she drove it until something happened, and then she had to get a new one, and then she had a 4-door that she got from a fucking scam car dealership that was a fucking massive piece of shit. That one, I feel confident in saying that the reason why she quit driving it was because it blew up. I don't actually remember, that was so fucking long ago, but you know, that fucking thing was terrible, and I'm glad that got fucking out of her life. She got kind of screwed though, like, at the time she had got her like first house, right? And I don't remember if she had the pink one with her first house. Pretty sure she had the green one. And ended up upgrading big time. Like, we still talk about the car she had after that to this day. She just, massive upgrade. She got a fucking Chevy Lumina, man. That thing was so nice. She drove that fucking boat across this country like a bunch of times, man. So many fucking miles on that thing. And it only had 2 problems. No AC, and because it hadn't been retrofitted for like the new AC at the time, new AC style. And I think the rear main seal leaked, a common issue on those small block V6s. So it leaked antifreeze. So, and it wasn't mixing into the engine, it just dripped on the ground. So yeah, it was fantastic car. I put a radio in it. I think we put speakers in the front at some point. Fucking awesome car. And I don't know why I'm talking about my sister's cars. Oh my god, my controller died again. Okay, so I literally said, yeah, this controller sips on the batteries. I put the batteries in this controller fucking last year when I was living in a different place. So, yeah, the fact that they finally died is surprising to me. Is it actually the controller dying, or do I keep hitting the battery latch wrong? Okay, so switch controllers and set up the controls. I know I was talking mad smack about how that controller sips on the battery life, but dude, I bought those batteries like last year. I charged them last year, and then they've been in that same controller. I don't know where the other 2 went. I think they're in the other one. Since like August of last year. So I've had them for a long time, just not, you know. And I played the shit out of my PS2. I never charged those batteries. When I was stoned, I was still I was still trying to figure out how to like move my thumb and stuff. So I was playing a game called Mercenaries for the PS2, because it's kind of a slower game. So it was easier to play, you know, than like Gran Turismo or something like that, you know. And at the time, I had my PS2 and my Wii, which I used for, like, GameCube stuff. So, but I wasn't in any shape to play the Wii because I didn't have the right controllers, so. God, that was a rough time. So, I was in a motorcycle collision last year, and I fucked my arm up really bad. I broke it, like at the wrist point, and on my left arm. Fortunately, it was the left because I'm right-handed. I'm ambidextrous, but after I broke my arm when I was a kid, I was right-handed. So I broke the hand I don't write with, which is good. So while I was trying to like figure out how to play games again, because I had like some nerve damage and shit I had to work out. It's gone now, I'm good to go. But it was still very frustrating. My fucking hobby, and the only thing I wanted to do was play video games, and all of the video games I played required two hands. So, you know, it started with Mercenaries and the PS2, and got my hand back. Eventually, I started playing with my brother-in-law. I started playing Doom and SWAT 4. I would play SWAT 4 with him, and he'd play Doom with me. And then eventually we both got Ready or Not, so that was pretty cool. Played the shit out of that. We quit because we were waiting for updates, but I might actually lose this because I was busy fucking talking. So yeah, it's a long, wild ride, but I played the shit out of my PS2, and I did not have to charge those batteries the entire time I was trying to recover. Like, fantastic batteries. They're Amazon Basics batteries, and I use a Tenergy double and AAA battery charger that's like, it runs on a 1 amp 5 volt power supply. So you can charge batteries on like a phone block charger. So, or like I do, if you're smart, you go and you get like a 5 or 6 port USB hub that has its own external like 3 amp power supply, and then you don't plug it into a computer, you plug it directly into the power supply and use that to charge all your shit. That's what I do. So yeah, they won. Race 5 out of 5, end of the season. Promotion cost free. Cool. Escort season, huh? Man, if only they knew what that word meant. That's alright. It's alright. People who were making Ford games probably weren't thinking about fucking high dollar prostitutes, so, or sex workers. So not all escorts are prostitutes, let's be honest. That was rude of me to say. It's just a stereotype, you know? Anyways, I'm not going to jump in that rabbit hole. Maybe we'll talk about hookers and hoes and prostitutes and escorts in the next video. Who knows? So, yeah, if you want, stay tuned for that. Oh, why did I have to lump escorts into that fucking category? I'm about to get fucking canceled.